Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from group 2. We will present about classroom action research. Before we start our meeting, let's pray together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Arrahmanirrahim. Iyyaka na'budu wa nasta'in. Shiratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi. Okay, the first presenter is me, Nizam Masruri, and the second is Alwan Fatah Yasin. The third is Nahla Ayu Khofifah, and the last Muhammad Sufyan Tsauri. Okay, the first I will explain about the definition of classroom action research. Action research is a process in which educators examine their own practice systematically and use carefully using the techniques of research. Participants design a research question, collect data throughout the year, analyze what they have learned, and write about the findings. Observation, interviews, survey, and journals are typical data methods that participants use to investigate their question. Bogdan and Bicklin in 1992 explained that action research is the systematic collection of information that is designed to bring about social change. In addition, Cameron and Jones 1983 defines action research as a research carried out by practitioners with a view to improve their professional practice and understand it better. In accordance with that, Albright and Bailey in 1991 mentioned that it is a research centers on the classroom and simply tries to investigate what actually happens inside the classroom. It treats classroom interaction as virtually the only object worthy of investigation. Okay, I think that's all from me. The next material will be delivered by Alwan Fatah Yasin.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alwan Fatah Yasin. I will explain the material about the purpose of classroom action research. According to Cohen 1989, 118, the purpose of action research in schools and classroom is broadly divided into 5 categories. The first is it is a mean of remedying problems diagnosed in specific situation or improving in some way a given set of circumstances. Second is it is a mean of in-service training, thereby equipping the teacher with new skills and methods, sharpening his analytical power and heightening his self-awareness. The third, it builds a collegial networking system, for sometimes it involves several educators, even student and parent working together. The fourth, it helps practitioners identify problems and seek solutions in a systematic fashion. And the last is it can be used at all levels and in all areas of education, such as a mean of in-service training for principals. I think enough from me. The next material will be explained by Nahla Ayu.
Okay, the next is the steps in classroom action research. In a study or research, the most important things are coining, implementing, observing, and reflecting. There are 6 steps in classroom action research. The first is identify the problem or questions. The second is plan research. The third is collect the data. The fourth is analyze and interpret the data. The fifth is reflect, and the last is share and take action. Okay, the first, identify a classroom related question that you would like to research. It means identify questions that arise in a class. The second is plan research. Examine any research applicable, choose and teaching design that would work most effectively in answering your research question. So, in the plan research, there are two steps. In the first is examine and second is choose. The point is, after determining the problem, then we determine the research study that is relevant to the problem in the classroom. After that, we determine the learning method that is effective and in accordance with the problem in the classroom. Okay, the next is collect the data. Collect the data that you need to help answer your research question. Collect data that you need to help answer, such as student grades, result of a survey, or your own anecdotal notes about your classroom. The next is analyze. Analyze the data you have to collect it to come to a conclusion. You can make a graph or table of test score, categorize various anecdotes, or make an annotated timeline during the analysis process. And the next is reflect. Reflect is implement a strategy based on your result. And the last is share and take action. Share your research with colleagues and others who might be interested. It means share your research with colleagues and others who might be interested. Discuss what you have discovered at team meeting or even during your lunch break. Alternatively, mention it to the principal or suggest that it be publicized to the rest of the staff. I think that's it, and the next will be continued by the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sufyan Tsauri. I will explain about the difference between formal research and classroom action research. Classroom action research differs in some important ways from formal research. Brock and Gill 1993 is 397 until 398 claim that there are 9 differences between them. The first is training needed by researchers. Formal research is most formal research methods require intensive training to be used properly. Those who do qualitative studies need specialized skills in collecting and interpreting intensive data on the selected case. And action research is, however, most education practitioners can carry out action research on their own, in collaboration in with colleagues or with the aid of the research specialists. They do not need advanced skill in research and interpretation. And the second is goals of the research. Formal research is the goals of formal research are to produce knowledge that is generalized to a broad population of interest, to develop the test theories. It has the goal of contributing to the training and hence the competence of education practitioners. And action research is aimed at obtaining knowledge that can be applied directly to the local situations. Number 3 is method of identifying the problem to be studied. Formal research is informal research. Problems for investigation usually are identified through a review of previous research. The researchers may choose the study problems that interest them, but they tend to be problems that do not relate to their responsibilities. Action research. In action research, by contrast, the educator investigates precisely those problems that they perceive to the interfering with their efficacy and perhaps that of their colleges, or that it involves important goals they want to achieve in their work. And the fourth is produce for literature review. Formal research. Informal research and intensive literature review focusing on the primary source material is necessary. The review is needed to give the research thorough understanding of the current state of knowledge about the problem being investigated. Action research. Action research researchers only need to gain a general understanding of the area being studied. Hence, a more cursory literature review focusing on the secondary sources is usually adequate. And the fifth is sampling approach. Formal research. Informal research aim to select either a random or representative sample of the population to eliminate samplings being as a possible factor affecting the result. Action research. Action research use a subject, the student or client with whom they typically work. The sixth is research design. Formal research is formal emphasize detailed planning to control for extraneous variables that can confuse the interpretation of the result. Little attention is paid to control of the situation of elimination of sources of error bias. Because the researchers tend to be personally involved, bias is typically present. Action research. By contrast, action researchers plan their produce more loosely, matching freely during the action phase of the study if they appear likely to improve the partial situation and complete the study fairly quickly. And the seventh, measurement procedures. Formal research is researchers who do formal studies attempt to find the most valid and reliable measure available. As a result, they may first evaluate available measure to conduct a trial run of the measure select for the research prior to doing the research itself. Action research, however, often use convenience measure or standard tests such as those routinely given in the course of classroom interaction. And the eighth is formal research is often involves complex analysis of data, but raw data are rarely present. Tests of statistical significance are usually emphasized in formal qualitative research. The researchers engaged in careful, reasoned analysis of intensive case data is determine their consistency with the theory in which is research is grounded. Action research. Most action research involves simple analysis produced with a focus on the practical significance rather than statistical significance. The ninth is application of research. Formal research emphasize the theoretical significance of their finds and implication for further research. They may discuss the practical implication of their research, but they not requirement of reflecting on the study of the studies. Action research, by contrast, the practical significance of the result is of foremost importance. Action research reports their findings mainly in effort to clarify how the finding affect on their work. That's all for me.
Okay, guys, I think that's all from us or group 2. I hope what we learned is useful. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.